Hey, this is Troye Sivan. I am a openly gay singer-songwriter from Australia. I'm 21 years old and I would like to talk to you about something that is extremely important to me, briefly, if that's okay. I came out when I was 14 and everyone in my world has opened their arms to me and just given me undying support. And unfortunately, that is not the case for many. Across Australia, thousands of kids are bullied on a daily basis because of their sexuality. They're also bullied on their religion and their race and their gender and their faith and their disability and skin conditions and social standing and political persuasions. And I and a bunch of other people believe that it has got to stop. That is why I'm getting behind a new push in the form of a letter to the Australian Prime Minister to roll out a national anti-bullying, anti-violence program in schools across Australia, where students are taught to respect and to tolerate people like me. There was a previous anti-bullying program in Australia called Safe Schools, and it existed to help kids like me, but it was made controversial by newspapers and politicians who still refuse to accept that people like me should be tolerated, and not only tolerated, but respected, and especially in schools. Unfortunately, it looks like the Safe Schools program is not going to continue to be funded by the federal government, despite many campaign efforts to save it, including some by my own mum. The New South Wales government has abandoned Safe Schools due to no further federal funding. The Tasmanian government has chosen to roll out a separate anti-bullying program. The West Australian government was re-elected on a campaign that involved funding Safe Schools. The Queensland government says it has no plans to discontinue the program, and the Victorian government has fully funded the program and is looking to roll it out across all Victorian state schools by 2019. So as you can hear, there's a big mess. There's no consistency, and at the end of the day, it is our most vulnerable members of society, our young people, who are suffering. LGBTQ people have the highest rates of suicide of any population in Australia. Gay teens are 14 times more likely to kill themselves in this country. And further research shows that the majority of male-to-male bullying is homophobic, and that those bullies often become perpetrators of domestic violence in their later adult lives. And then there's the statistic of 1 in 4 Australian women being a victim to that domestic violence, and that's not something to be proud of either. With the federal Australian budget set to be handed down on May 9th, that's where the government of the day allocates funding to where they believe it needs to go. I, along with others, am urging the Prime Minister of Australia, Malcolm Turnbull, to allocate federal government funding to a program such as the one I have outlined to you today. Australia needs an anti-bullying, anti-violence program with a focus on LGBTQ bullying that isn't just another bullying program. What Australia does not need is a program that is tied up in politics and controversy. If we don't act now, future suicides, self-harm, murders, and domestic violence will continue unabated. Now is the time to act, and I and my friends urge the Prime Minister to do so before further victims continue to suffer. Thank you so much for listening.